So we're looking at a business called Planetary Resources, and in 2018 it was bought by ConsenSys. So here's an overview. Planetary Resources was an asteroid mining company, and the new on Twitter we can find this as well, ConsenSys Space. I have posted a link to that on Twitter. But this is in the index.co/company/planetary resources. That's the short condensed version for that. And I'm doing this video, recording it for the future, because they are focused on asteroid mining, but also I believe they were focused on water harvesting. So at Ocean Camera Space Corp, I've been focusing on doing the video imagery of the oceans and the water. And I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, I believe that's how his name is spelled. Neil was saying that some of the three major motivators for big money spending are war, another one is economic benefit, and the third one is royalty. So those are kind of the three motivators for spending a lot of money here on the Earth. When we say, "Oh yeah, it's worth doing," that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying. So when we're looking at this, the finding water in space is important, and Neil was saying that the cost to get water into space was about $10,000 per pound, and we're talking about an Earth pound here. That's a weight. And so there's about 8 pounds. There's over 8 pounds in a gallon. So, and a swimming pool has about 660,000 gallons. So I did some math, and that's at the cost of today's cost of $10,000 per pound to get a pound of water into orbit. That's over that's many billions of dollars at $10,000 per pound. So water is a big commodity in space. So that would guarantee there's one of the big things to guarantee the survival of the species of whatever people that need that water in space. So I did alter and modify the mission statement for the Ocean Cam to include harvesting of water. And I added that calculation at the bottom of the business plan on Ocean Camera Space Corp on the oceancam.space website for the business plan. I added some of these water calculations, so that could have an impact on the ability to raise funds in the future. Having that water harvesting mission as part of it, it's going to add more work to the Ocean Cam thing, but it's also going to most likely supply more income and better, easier raising of money in the future for the Ocean Camera Space Corp mission. So we can see that Planetary Resources, or today called ConsenSys Space, they were involved with Ethereum and cryptocurrency, blockchain. So that's where the money came to buy out Planetary Resources. And again, if we were to look at one of these, I believe there's an asteroid with many, many trillions or quadrillions of dollars in value, from everything from gold and different metals. And so there's a lot of rare earth type elements up there, easily accessible on some of these asteroids. So that is a lucrative thing if they can pull it off. And they had a ConsenSys now owns, but they Planetary Resources had been developing this Arcid 6 prototype satellite, and that was about a 20-pound satellite with the intention of detecting water, and that was back in 2017. We can see here November 2017. So they were in the water sector as well, and now it's owned by ConsenSys. So they have most likely a good amount of cash, and so they are potentially a competitor here. But I'm going to use this index.co gathering of information here to learn more about what they were doing. I did find a PDF that I posted on Twitter as well, by Planetary Resources. So this is also a recording of an information video as well. In the event that any of this information disappears, it was at least recorded here. So there's a waybackwebarchive.org, and that has recorded many of the images on the previous planetaryresources.com website, which no longer exists. But they had all the marketing down. Here they have 2 trillion tons of water available at $10,000 per pound. Per pound, they've calculated that there's 2 trillion tons of water available for life support and fuel in space. So again, we were looking and seeing earlier last year in 2021 that a Wikipedia article saying that there was say 10 times the amount of water that's on Earth over on one of these moons, and altogether there's 20 to 50 times more confirmed water off the Earth than on the Earth. So this is another organization that was looking also to monetize the available water in space, and if they could extract or mine the minerals from these different asteroids, then they could reduce the space exploration costs by about 95%. Because if you can source the materials out there in space and source the liquids needed to drink and grow crops and do all other kinds of, water's an important thing in chemistry and all kinds of things like that. So yeah, water, asteroids. But here at Ocean Camera Space Corp, I'm focusing on the water. The video imagery of the water and harvesting of the water would potentially, if needed, fuel the video imagery throughout the solar system. It's the inspiration for investors possibly to get on board, if they weren't on board already, with just the Ocean Cam video imagery from all the different moons and planets and now asteroids in the solar system. So this is a screenshot from 2018, April 8th. But again, you can go to the web.archive.org, and if you didn't know this, or maybe if you do, you can look at the history of some of the websites of what they used to display. You just go and you type in the website you want to look up that used to exist, that might not exist anymore, or even if it does exist, what they used to show a couple of years ago. And so that's how you can look up stuff, and that's what I did here. I'm going to go to my Twitter page quickly and bring up a post that I put up. Here we go, profile. I think I can bring up a PDF that I just posted. Yes, here we go. So this is a PDF from a year or so ago, and again, Planetary Resources. Here they're talking about that satellite, the Orchid 6 satellite for water detection. And I'm going to page through this to get it onto the video for recording purposes. You can see here Goldman Sachs was reported as having an eye on mining in space. USGS was looking at mining asteroids. The Senate was looking at opening the ability for companies to go up there into space and mine. The House, HR 2809. So this is going to be a good resource for me to learn more about what has already happened, what these other companies have already worked on and figured out. Here we go, release water from hydrated material to demonstrate resource accessibility. What I'm focusing on here at Ocean Camera Space Corp is the the known oceans beneath the ice on like Enceladus and the other moons as well. So there have been different scientists that I've watched who've shown like when there's a crater, if the crater rises up above the surface, then that's a good indication that the water sloshed around, and it sloshed up and froze when it was higher than the surrounding terrain. So I'm focusing on those. I'm focusing on whole moons. I'm not so much focusing on asteroids. And one of the among the first several asteroid moons would be like Enceladus, and maybe Ceres or some of the other moons around, Saturn, Jupiter, or maybe there's another one. Launch cost per metric ton, $16 million. No refueling. So this is, again, back to that slide by Planetary Resources. This is some of the stuff that SpaceX is doing. Refueling in low Earth orbit was one of the things that they're looking to do with the Starship. So I'll put a link to this PDF, and I will also put a link to the previous website that we just took a look at in the description of this video. Okay, and they also printed some materials from asteroids already. So that's cool. They're 3D printing with metal. BD Systems look like is in partnership with Planetary Resources. Very interesting. Compact Hyperspectral Aberration Corrective Platform, CHAP, Phase 2 SBIR. Integrated Propulsion and Primary Structure Module for Small Satellite and CubeSat Applications, IPPSM. Titanium 3D printing of integral structure and propulsion system hardware for lower mass, higher delta V, small satellite platforms. So titanium, using titanium to 3D print. Telescopic asteroid spectral characterization for target selection with MANOS project. I don't know what the MANOS project is. Details on the next slide. Mission Accessible Near-Earth Objects Survey through Nick Moskowitz Lowell Observatory. So it's good. This PDF is going to be good for branching out and connecting with more individuals on LinkedIn and possibly future collaborations. Here we got the advisory board for Planetary Resources Prospecting. So if any of you know any of these people, or if you worked, or you are one of these individuals, or you know this similar type of thing, this is the type of team and board that we're looking to build and form here at Ocean Camera Space Corp. Because I know a bunch about certain things, but to accomplish this type of difficult, intricate, complex mission in space, never mind on Earth, we're talking about in space, it's going to take very, very passionate and self-motivated, smart individuals. Highly skilled. I'm going to scroll to the top of this. Chris Lewicki, President and CEO of Planetary Resources. I will check him out on LinkedIn, but I'm going to scroll to the top. Let me see if I can go there fast on the side here and see if I can find out the date this was written. Meeting 17. Some of the slides after that seem to indicate that it was So by the end of 2020, they were looking to do that. Here they have some timelines from 2016. So I'm not sure when this slide was made, but I do know it's important to remember that ConsenSys bought Planetary Resources in, when was it? October or November of 2018. So this was prior, most likely, to November of 2018. All right. I think that will wrap it up. Of note, the Chang E5 lander has shown some evidence of water on the moon as well. That came out today, and there's a link to that in Twitter. All right, thank you very much. The truck is fixed. I picked it up today. Today's date is January 7th, 2022 at 9:20 p.m. And just going to go on forward. Took some moves today, and we'll continue to move forward, see where things end up. I'm following my passion here at Ocean Camera Space Corp, and that's all I can do. All right, if you have any ideas, suggestions, questions, or if you want to share something or make a comment, go ahead. I'll chat with you next time. Thank you very much.